that moment, I did feel hurt by some of the things that she said. But that was supposed to be a conversation that she and I would have, and come to terms with. It was not for anybody else to take and make worse than what it really was. And that's for, my mom discussing it with the other boy and him, making more of it than what it was. That's for it all. In a moment of frustration, I vented to my mom, and it just went way further than it was supposed to go. But it honestly it was not that deep. It was something that I just felt hurt by something she said. That's it. And that's something I could have discussed with my friend at the right time, and we would have been fine without all of the other, people inserting themselves into something that friends go through. Friends go through disagreements. Friends go through things. That's one of the things that makes, friends. They go through things together. And you're not going to always like things that a friend says or things that a friend does. And there have been times where she didn't necessarily like something I said, and she told me. And the times where I didn't like something she said, then I would tell her, and that's the kind of relationship we have where we can be open and honest with one another and discuss things and work them out or work through them. But I also understand that she's been betrayed by so many people at so many turns. And when that's happened, sometimes it takes a long time for you to be able to build up trust after you feel the slightest bit of wronged by anyone. And I respect that 100%. So that's all, that's really how I feel about that. It's just that it was something that it was made to be something more than what it was. It should not have gone further than just a conversation between, me and her. Hey, you look pretty. Happy New Year. Thank you. So what other recordings AL have on you talking about negative about Mel? I've never said anything negative about Mel, ever. Even in that recording, I said not one negative thing about her. Not one. I've never said, I don't have anything negative to say about her at all. She was reassuring Tisha that she didn't know you were coming. Yeah, she was. And I didn't like how it just kind of went on and on, like trying to convince her that, she didn't know that I was coming. I just at that time I didn't like that, Now, fast forward, I have a different perspective about it. But in that moment, it just kind of left me just kind of thinking like, okay, are you trying to say that maybe you didn't want me to come because y'all are making amends? Like, I just didn't know where we stood in that moment. And I didn't like that feeling of being unsure of what was really happening, because that was the first time I had ever seen anything like that take place. So, you had me cracking up at the counselor. Really? At what, girl? Because while I was there, I ain't see nothing funny. I was hot. When I tell you I was hot, I was hot. I really need you back next season. God isn't through using you to help others. I feel like this. I feel like wherever God wants me to be, that's where I'll be. And I'm okay with being on the show or not being on the show, if that's what is best for my life or what I'm destined for. I don't know. I don't know yet, so I can't, yeah. I can't really disclose too much, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Did you understand what she was saying after seeing the show, like in reference to what Miss London 427? Stay strong. Don't let others bring you down. Tell your truth, dear. Thank you. Were you upset that she was reassuring Tisha she didn't know you were coming? In that moment, I did feel some kind of way. I'm not gonna lie, I did. Because it was just like, Tisha, I promise you, I had no idea she was coming. I didn't know. Look, and I'm like, why are you trying so hard to prove to her that you didn't know I was coming? You know, especially after the stuff she's done and said, like, in that moment, I didn't like that. I didn't. What can we expect to see from you next year? You will see. Melody said she asked you to call Neil and asked to come on a trip to Houston. Like she said, she didn't know you were actually coming, so that's what she said. Where's the deceit? Who said there was deceit? I didn't say there was any deceit. I said exactly that. Melody, and she didn't actually tell me to call Neil. She suggested that I call Neil, to inquire about the trip. And, that's what I did. And we didn't talk prior to me coming on the trip. So I don't know what you mean as far as deceit goes, because I never said there was any deceit. I said I didn't like, her just trying to reassure Tisha that she didn't know if I was coming or not. Like, who gives a F what she think? Let her think whatever she want to think. F her. For real. That's how I felt in that moment. So it wasn't like, again, that situation wasn't really that deep. In that moment, that's how I felt. F what she think. Man, let her think what she think. You ain't got to explain that to her, girl. Come over here. You ain't got to say nothing to her if you don't want to. You ain't got nothing to explain to her. Let her think whatever she want to think. Let her think it. F her. Why didn't they air the pastor party? I'm not sure. I just thought about that. I have no idea. I don't know. I literally just thought about that, and I think that would have been a good. I don't know if it has anything to do with, when you're dealing with a situation like that, it's so many people, because there was a lot of people there, and there was so many, different things going on, music, so I don't know if there was problems with, like, how they could edit it, or if the sound, all the logistics worked out as far as the sound, the lighting, and all that stuff. I don't know. But that's a good question. Keke never said Melody did. No, I never said she deceived me. Not once did I say that. And that's what I'm saying. People will take stuff that they want to take and just make it up out of thin air and push their narrative, when their narrative is 100% wrong. I never said anything like that. I never said those words once. I said I didn't like her trying to reassure the other girl that she didn't know if I was coming or not, because who gives a F what she thinks? But then again, later on, when I kind of, was thinking more rationally, I was like, if that was the case, I can't be mad if, they want to make up. I can't be mad at that. Maybe in that time I felt mad because she was making up. Like, I'm human. Maybe I felt that way at that moment. I could have. So once I was removed from that and everything kind of calmed down, I understood it. So did you call and ask Neil if you can come? Because if that's so, how is it on production? Just asking, no disrespect. Because okay, how can I answer this? Okay, let me say this. Everything that ever happens is probably because it's planned to happen. Or not necessarily planned to happen, but it's probably because production wanted it to go that way. So I'll say that. That's what they do. They produce the show. So if Melody told me, if you have a cast member and you want them on that trip, then you're going to put together ways for them to go on that trip. And so you're going to, let everybody know what's expected of them, and they have to follow suit. So that's that. He was clearly trying to cause division between y'all. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think he was set up by the skies? No doubt. I do. Absolutely. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Harold. Did it seem like to you your friend was playing sides? Not necessarily playing sides, no. I wouldn't say playing sides. I would just say at first I felt like maybe she was caught up in a position where she has a friend who has this conflict with people she's had conflict with, and they've been on the same side, for most of the time. But then, when she starts to make amends with the other people, and that's for anybody. It's a tricky situation. I've been in that situation before with friends, where you're cool with one friend, then you fall out with other friends, and everybody that fell out. But then when you get back cool with that friend, then it's awkward. It's just awkward. It's an awkward scenario that takes place when that happens. And removed from it, I understand. But in the moment, my feelings in the moment. And that's just being honest. Okay, did she know you were coming, or did she know you wanted to come, which is why she told you that? I'm going to just say, look, we've said it several times. She told me to ask Nell. No, she didn't know I was coming. She didn't know until I got there. She didn't know for 100% fact. I'm sure she knew that there was a strong chance. They all knew. Yeah, for real. So, yeah, honestly, most of them, for real, knew I was coming. Tell you the truth. Dick said, why is Keke not entitled to her feelings? I don't know. I probably, I'll be missing a whole bunch of comments, so y'all be responding to stuff that I haven't seen. So I don't know why anybody would feel like I'm not entitled to my feelings. But everybody, every person, including the people who would question my feelings, I'm sure at one point in time or another, they felt some kind of way that they were entitled to feel that way. So, what upset you with the counselor? The way that she came at me from the jump. It was sinister. It was not peaceful. It was not loving. It was not welcoming. It was not open, and it was not that sincere, compassionate. It was none of that. It was like, why do you think you deserve the right to be here? Whoa. The same reason everybody else deserved the right to be here? I believe that was her first question. And it literally went like that until she changed her tone. And I hate that. That's what I hate about editing. I wish that y'all could have seen it from beginning to end. And then, because y'all didn't even see the part where she really came at me. Y'all didn't even see that. Y'all just see the part after she kind of calmed down. And by that time, you can see I'm already pissed. I'm not just pissed for no reason. I'm pissed because I've already felt disrespected. So, I get why you were mad on that moment. Hell, you was confused just like some of us, and we not even on the show. Exactly. The people who think talking about like I'm not entitled to my feelings, I haven't seen a comment like that, and I don't know why people would people feel how they feel. Regardless if you agree with it, don't agree with it. People feel